It is increasingly clear to me that Halo Infinite was designed for new players to the series, people that have never touched a Halo game or have very little relation to the series in general. I feel like longtime hardcore fans of the series are getting absolutely shafted by watching their franchise turn into nothing more than another free-to-play live service experiment. What was once an experience is now an ecosystem full of empty promises. Well, empty until they're filled. Even just playing this game's campaign, you can tell that it's written for people that never played the previous games. All of the backstory and fan service is lore-based. It's all in audio logs and text things and name drops, but in terms of cutscenes and actual plot, you don't need to know the plots of 1, 2, 3, Reach, ODST, 4, or 5. The plot of Halo Infinite's campaign mainly hinges on knowing what was going on with Cortana, but the game does an amazing job of explaining it to you like you've never heard about it before, and does a lot of recapping and a lot of beating you over the head about it. In many ways, plot-wise, Cortana is the only hook back to the previous titles, because when it comes to Chief, while longtime fans will respect his appearance in this game and how he is portrayed, this could have easily been his first game. The game works as a soft reboot, which is what I think 343 was truly intending. But my campaign tangent aside, the obvious thing to look at is the fact that it's on Game Pass and is free to play. Unfortunately though, 343 is jumping the gun to treating this game like a live service ecosystem, and they've been doing this since their quote-unquote beta period. The early surprise release period of Halo Infinite's multiplayer was for some reason called a beta, despite it being a fully monetized ecosystem. Between the store and the battle pass, there was a lot of ways to spend money, and it doesn't make any sense to call that a beta period when pretty much nothing changed from beta to launch. And that might be because, and here's a hot take, it never launched. It was released early, and I think we're still in that sort of beta period. This game has embraced the live service platform so much that this is just an unfinished game getting slowly finished over time. Every game launches with bugs and glitches, and any game that launches just before the holidays is gonna take a little bit longer to get off the ground, and I know Halo Infinite's only been out for about a full month since December 8th. But between the tech test, the quote-unquote beta, and the quote-unquote launch, there's really been no changes other than additional playlists you can choose to play in. And of course, a crap ton of stuff in the store. And this new event that's going on right now that I'm kind of just ignoring at the moment is a really good example of the issue here. 343 is doing a bunch of short-sighted, money-grabbing, playtime-grabbing events and store items, trying to put in memes and references and sought-after colors like, I don't know, blue, into the store so that you have things to buy. And making events time-gated and making it so only certain challenges progress it, and you can only do so many a week, so you get that sort of manufactured scarcity. You get that, FOMO feeling where, yeah, the battle passes never expire, but oh, the event's only around for these weeks, and you gotta get in there, you gotta play hard, you gotta get all these challenges done. That, of course, introduces FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Of course, these are short-term tactics dedicated to getting players playing. It's to increase playtime, that's all it's there for. It's not like when Infinite Warfare would release a new weapon and everybody got a weapon in their inventory with a challenge next to it, and they had to complete that challenge to get that weapon. They're not doing that with armor sets or AIs or anything like that. There's no special armor they're going to add for getting ninja kills or multi-kills or nade shot kills. Nothing. Nothing like that. Because Halo Infinite has an absolute content drought. In terms of weapon sandbox, map variety, and quantity, there really isn't a lot to Halo Infinite to keep people playing long term. So the way you increase playtime is by basically telling people that if they don't grind a whole bunch this week, they're gonna miss out on armor sets that won't be available. And there's an implication. Because Halo Infinite will likely be supported for the next 3 years at least, you don't want to be the one guy that didn't get the samurai armor. You don't want to be the one guy that didn't get that one thing that was in that store that one time. Refreshing the store every week is so deviously clever. You get people that maybe didn't really care about the cat ears, but they don't want to miss out on getting the cat ears. They don't know when they're going to come back. You know, the Mr. Chief AI, you know, that's got some meme relevance to longtime Halo fans, and, you know, well, it's a little expensive, but I don't want to miss out on it. This is why I bought the Hazop armor, and I still feel dirty despite using Microsoft points to do it. Because it's my favorite armor in Reach, next to Operator and ODST. My friend who's been playing Halo with me since we were kids, when he sees a Hazop Spartan, he literally thinks of me. So I had to buy it, right? At this point to me, Halo Infinite really needs to capitalize on what momentum it had and release large, sweeping expansions. Not these little trickled out Battle Pass seasons and events, these short-term things. We need real, permanent content. So let me explain to you what I would like to see in a Halo Infinite expansion. This will be about multiplayer only, so I'm not going to talk about Forge, Firefight, or Campaign or anything like that. For the multiplayer, I think the events could be themed around other Halo games, and while it would be kind of fun if they did it in a random order, let's start with Halo CE. The Halo CE expansion would include two weapons, the classic plasma rifle and the Halo CE Magnum as a power weapon. The CE Magnum could be between a sidekick and a mangler with some good long-range accuracy, but of course a little less damage than a mangler. And then when you have the plasma rifle, it's just a fully automatic shield stripper that's really good at spraying and bonking. Then the expansion comes with 2 new maps and 2 remade maps. I want to hear what you guys would put in as the remade maps. Personally, I like Death Island, Blood Gulch, Battle Canyon, and then maybe even Hang 'em High or Prisoner. Sidewinder's pretty cool. Longest is interesting, but a little too tight for me. Let me know what you guys would want. And then of course 2 new maps. So you get 4 maps, 2 weapons, and then I believe the big thing would be 50 non-expiring challenges that unlock you Halo CE inspired cosmetics and aesthetics. Like imagine if 100 backsmack kills got you a death effect that gave you the classic Halo CE death animations. This would feel like a full-fledged DLC with a lot of longevity being added by, of course, maps, weapons, and challenges. None of the content would have anything to do with a battle pass. All of this would be permanent additions that never expire and don't require stupid arbitrary daily challenges or even XP to progress. These would be set challenges that allow you to unlock a plethora of fun cosmetics, and they'll never go away. You could just track the challenges by going to a challenge menu in the main menu, and you'd have the Combat Evolved Reawakened challenges or some stupid name like that. And you could scroll through and see your progress on all of the challenges they added with that expansion. Then what about a Halo 2 expansion where they add the SMGs and dual wielding? Then they could have a series of 50 challenges to unlock a bunch of elite cosmetics with playable elites being introduced. Of course, they wouldn't be able to be used in ranked, but they'd be fine in standard multiplayer matches. And the way that they could balance dual wielding is just by having the 2 guns that can be dual wielded on each end of the map. So it's like a power weapon you have to go fight for in order to have 2 SMGs, 2 plasma rifles, 2 needlers. That's how you balance that. On top of that, accuracy should be reduced at range, yada yada, you get it. But they found a way to balance sprinting. I feel like they could find a way to balance dual wielding and playable elites. And then of course that expansion would have all those challenges, it would have new maps, it would have the SMG. It would be fun to see them actually blow this game up. If every 4.5, maybe even 5 months, God forbid, we got massive expansions like this, I would be so excited for the future of Halo Infinite. An ODST expansion with a bunch of awesome, rainy, moody maps with some really great ODST-themed cosmetics. Maybe even on some of those maps you could drop in at the start of the game with a drop pod, like an ODST. It would be really cool to see that. The backgrounds of the menus would change similar to the MCC, and the ODST one would be all dark and rainy in the background with some nice, slow jazz. Like, come on. Halo Infinite, if you trickle out maps slowly, release stupidly long battle passes, and keep doing these timed events, your game will die hard. Co-op campaign, Forge, and maybe even a firefight mode could be a lot of fun, but the multiplayer will die if you continue treating this game like a live service when it's currently in the process of playing catch-up. Make content for your fans. You did this with the MCC, I know you can do it again. Currently, your store and battle pass and challenge system, progression system in general, your cosmetics in general, are tone deaf to the problems with this game. Please, 343, do something substantial and do it quickly. See you when I see you guys. Goodbye.